Here are today's top stories. The Philippine Army offered its condolences to the families of policemen killed during a misencounter in Samar and vowed that the incident will not pose a challenge to AFP-PNP cooperation. The Department of Transportation prepares to act on the Ombudsman decision to file charges over the MRT-3 maintenance controversy. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry calls for insight from the business sector on the proposed shift to federalism. And Rain or Shine books the top spot in the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Six cops were killed while 9 others were wounded in a misencounter with soldiers in Samar. 6 junior police officers were killed while 9 others were wounded in a misencounter Monday morning between patrolling cops and soldiers in Santa Rita, Samar, identified as one of the areas in the region infested by the New People's Army. 17 soldiers of the 87th Infantry Battalion incidentally engaged, a team from the 805th Company of the PNP Regional Mobile Force Battalion. Both teams were conducting patrol in Sitio Lunoy, San Roque Village past 9 a.m. 8th Infantry Division Commander Major General Raul Farnacio blamed improper coordination worsened by old communications equipment for the misencounter. The unit involved in the encounter belongs to the PNP unit under Chief Inspector Don Arhi Suspine. No one was hurt from the military side. The Philippine Army meanwhile vows that the misencounter will not dampen the cooperation of the military and police in carrying out their mandate. The Army also condoles with the family of the slain and wounded police officers. In a statement, Philippine Army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Luis Villanueva said, "An incident such as this does happen sometimes in the course of performing their task of serving and protecting the people." He added that the Philippine Army and the PNP is now addressing the incident through a creation of special investigating body that will determine the gaps and lapses of the operation. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, his predecessor Janet Garin, and 38 others have answered the criminal charges filed against them related to the anti-dengue vaccine Demvaxia. The former and current health officials, as well as respondents Sanofi Pasteur and Zuellig Pharma, filed their counter affidavits before the DOJ panel. They all urged the panel to dismiss the complaints for lack of merit. The panel is conducting the preliminary investigation over the criminal complaints filed with the help of the Public Attorney's Office over the death of 9 children. Garin maintains that the dengue immunization program underwent thorough evaluation. She also denies that the program was implemented with undue haste and that she failed to inform the public of the dangers and risks related to the vaccine. Furthermore, Garin said the complainants failed to establish that Demvaxia was indeed the cause of the death of the children subject of the complaint. This case is separate from the case lodged against former President Noynoy Aquino, Garin, former Budget Chief Florencio Abad, and several others. Only a minority group led by Iceland reportedly criticized the human rights situation in the Philippines. The Department of Foreign Affairs says only 11 of the 38 signatories of the joint statement against the Philippines are members of the 47-member UN Human Rights Council. This is contrary to erroneous reports that all members of the Council aligned themselves with criticism of the Philippines. The agency also noted it was a European country and several other states that Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano called out, not the Council. Philippine Permanent Representative to the UN in Geneva, Evan Garcia, said the criticism was led by Iceland and by the United Kingdom, Australia, and Finland. It was delivered during a general debate at the 38th session of the Human Rights Council last June 19 in Geneva, Switzerland. Garcia said Manila has responded to most of the concerns raised in the Council's previous sessions. Garcia defended the campaign against illegal drugs before the Council, saying it is conducted in accordance with the rule of law. The search is on for the next Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The Judicial and Bar Council is now accepting applications for the successor of ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Here's a report.
The Judicial and Bar Council, or JBC, officially opened the application for the Chief Justice position. Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara says the selection will be based on merits and qualifications and in accordance with the JBC rules. To qualify for a position in the judiciary, one has to be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines and should possess proven competence, integrity, probity, and independence. Those applying to the 15-member Supreme Court should also be at least 40 years old, a judge of a lower court, or had been engaged in the practice of law in the country. Applications should be accompanied by 2 complete sets of duly accomplished and notarized personal data sheet and all other documentary requirements, including statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth for those in government service. Applicants are also required to submit certifications or testimonials, as well as clearances in their places of residence. The deadline for filing and completing all requirements is on July 26. The Supreme Court affirmed the ouster of former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno last week through a co-warranto petition filed by the Office of the Solicitor General. President Rodrigo Duterte needs to appoint Sereno's replacement by September 16. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Bench Bondo.
The Department of Transportation is set to consult the Office of the Solicitor General about the filing of plunder charges against former DOTC Secretary Joseph Emilio Abaya and 16 other officials of the Aquino administration. The DOTR is waiting for the resolution of the Office of the Ombudsman finding probable cause to charge Abaya and other officials in connection with the anomalous 4.2 billion peso MRT-3 maintenance contract in 2016. Also facing charges are former MRT-3 General Manager Roman Buenafe, former Transportation Undersecretaries and officials, and executives of Busan Universal Railway Incorporated. Malacanang meanwhile welcomed the Ombudsman's finding of probable cause to charge Abaya. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says that if new cases were not filed against Abaya, he would release documentary evidence from whistleblowers which will prove that officials during the Aquino administration received kickbacks from the MRT-3 contract. The Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board reiterates its commitment to implement the Public Utility Modernization Program as members of the militant transport group Piston staged a rally in front of its office Monday. LTFRB board member Eileen Lisada said the program aims to establish an environmentally sustainable, safe, and reliable mode of public transportation to the public. Piston and No to Jeepney Coalition staged a protest to oppose 2 orders on the modernization program for being anti-poor. The 2 orders require individual franchise holders to form cooperatives and fulfill other requirements, such as establishing off-street terminals and acquiring Euro 4 compliant vehicles. Both groups said that if applicants under the new transport cooperatives did not comply with the requirements, the new routes and franchises will be given to other cooperatives approved by the LTFRB and Department of Transportation. Still to come, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry calls for insight from the business sector on the proposed shift to federalism. Power cooperatives in Negros Occidental announced power rate hikes this June. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
As an institution of, for, and by the people, our duty is not only to legislate. We inform, we educate, we deliver, we innovate. Welcome to the new House of Representatives website. Here is an exclusive look at house.gov.ph. This website serves as the repository of the priority legislative measures of the House of Representatives during the 17th Congress. This newly innovated House website will not only provide information on House bills and resolutions. We are here to give you more. We mapped out the progress of House bills and outlined their objectives, key provisions, and related Republic Acts through powerful infographics. Let us give you a quick tour of the website. House.gov.ph is more than just scrolling through a database. The featured bill will keep you posted weekly on priority bills and their status. To further understand the legislative process in the Philippines, you can watch How Laws Are Made, an informative video to walk you through. We provide you with a bird's eye view on the progress of House bills, which you may find in the status of priority bills. See the bills that have made it to the finish line under the enacted laws of the 17th Congress. Let us know what you think about a certain bill by placing your comments and reacting to them. Be part of our journey in shaping the future of the House of Representatives. Let's be partners for change. House.gov.ph.
The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PCCI, has called on its membership to put their views on the proposed shift to a federal form of government on the table. PCCI President Alegria Sibalimhoco says it is vital for entrepreneurs, particularly the small or medium-sized enterprises, to know the potential impact of federalism on their respective businesses. The PCCI chief noted that it is important that businessmen are adequately prepared for the changes that come with federalism should it be implemented anytime soon. The shift to federalism has been a hot topic in the business community since the Duterte administration put the gears in motion towards this change. The administration sees that decentralizing the system will empower the local government that would be the drivers of their own economic growth. The Department of Information and Communications Technology is set to release a draft terms of reference for the entry of the much-awaited third player in the local telco industry within this week. The ICT Acting Secretary Eliseo Rio Jr. says the agency will call for a public forum with all stakeholders to discuss the terms of reference. He stressed that the terms of reference are important in choosing who is qualified to compete with existing companies Globe and Smart. The DICT earlier said a number of issues are needed to be settled before the TOR is released to the public and the telco industry stakeholders. Among these issues include the distribution of frequencies, which were formerly awarded to Buy and Tel, establishment of a common tower policy, commercialization of the unused national grid of the Philippines, Transco dark fiber optic cables, and the reduction of interconnection rates among mobile networks. The DICT targets to name the third major telco player within this year. All three electric cooperatives in Negros Occidental have increased their residential rates for June. The rate adjustment follows the implementation of additional feed-in tariff allowance, or FIT-all, which is used to pay eligible renewable energy developers. Upward rate adjustments this month are estimated at 52 centavos per kilowatt hour for Central Negros Electric Cooperative, or Seneco, 16 centavos for Negros Occidental Electric Cooperative, or Noseco, and 13 centavos for Northern Negros Electric Cooperative, or Noneco. Seneco's generation rate totaled to 6 pesos and 1 centavos per kilowatt hour, while Noneco's rate will be at 11 pesos and 78 centavos. The increase is attributed to higher consumption with an added per kilowatt hour FIT-all ordered by the National Transmission Corporation. Other factors include higher transmission and universal charges. Anti-narcotics operatives arrested 3 alleged drug peddlers, including a minor, in an entrapment operation over the weekend in the coastal town of Glan in Sarangani Province. The 3 suspects were taken into custody Saturday afternoon in Barangay Baliton after attempting to sell a sachet of suspected shabu worth 500 pesos to an undercover agent. The agents recovered a small and a large plastic sachet containing suspected shabu weighing about 50 grams with a value of around 340,000 pesos. One of the suspects, identified as Rabodin Mintao Sahak, motorcycle for hire or habal-habal driver, was listed as a high-value target, along with his 2 other cohorts, both students. Rabodin and his cohort Rads Andukan Sahak will be charged for possession and selling of dangerous drugs. The minor was turned over to the City Social Welfare and Development Office for custody. Residents of Marawi City continue to receive aid as Task Force Bangon Marawi holds a humanitarian caravan delivering basic services. More on this from Sweet Lukman.
The Task Force Bangon Marawi or TFBM launches Peace on Service Convergence Caravan and humanitarian activities in Barangay Sugod, Marawi City. The program aims to deliver basic services to returnees of the residents of the barangay. Famous personalities attend to formally open the program. TFBM's member agencies have taken various interventions for locals such as Department of Health, who set up medical checkups for children, adults, and pregnant women. The 63rd Infantry Battalion from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or the AFP, provided free haircuts to children and adults. They also served free circumcision to the youth of the area. The Department of Social Welfare and Development provided relief assistance. The Office of the Civil Defense distributes family packs to residents with hygiene and sleeping kits, also includes a kitchenware. Meanwhile, the World Food Program, in partnership with Australian Aids, distributes 10 kilos of rice to every resident. Peace conversation was made by the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process to barangay stakeholders. The AFP, in partnership with Community and Family Services International, has conducted psychosocial healing for young people who have had a trauma caused by the Marawi incident. Some non-government organizations also distribute shoes and school supplies to Sugod Elementary School students in the said barangay. TFBM Chairman Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario and Marawi City Mayor Mahul Gandamra led the event with representatives of government agencies. Together with Laid Kabagani, for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Up next, Malacanang welcomes a congressional probe on the government's anti-loitering drive. Rain or shine books a top spot in the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns. Malacanang is welcoming any congressional investigation on the government's anti-tambay or loiterers campaign. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says Congress has the power to hold investigations in aid of legislation. The Makabayan bloc of the House of Representatives reportedly filed a resolution seeking a probe into the PNP's anti-loitering operations. Opposition Senator Bam Aquino also filed a resolution calling for an inquiry into the anti-loitering drive aimed at increasing police visibility and preventing crimes. Roque explained that there is no need for the national government to require all local government units to follow President Rodrigo Duterte's order on loiterers, since it is a basic implementation of local ordinances. He clarified that the president has no order to arrest loiterers who do not violate the law and local ordinances. However, Roque said the police can advise the loiterers to go home instead of roaming around the streets, with some of them half naked. Displaced residents of Marawi City got the chance to celebrate the last days of Ramadan comfortably with the help of concerned agencies that provided for their needs. More in this report from Sweet Lukman.
A few days before the holy month of Ramadan ended last June 15, 319 families temporarily residing in Sarimanok Tent City Sites 1 and 2 received iftar assistance from the Share the Blessing Project of Global Impact, DXFE AM radio station, and National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. The 5-day intervention, done in coordination with the Marawi LGU, aims to help the IDPs in having their iftar or meal after sunset at ease. Each serving is good for a family of 6, and the donors made sure that different sets of halal meals are prepared every day. Instead of using disposable food containers, the beneficiaries themselves were requested to bring their own plates and bowls. According to Meredith Desabel, program manager of the non-government organization Global Impact, aside from being eco-friendly, this practice also promotes a sense of ownership among the recipients of the meals. The same assistance was received by the evacuees in Bito Buadi, Itoa last month. The beneficiaries were very grateful for this act of kindness that has been shown to them, an assurance that their fellow Filipinos are one of them as they face the challenge of rising up again. Together with Donabel Magsino for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
The Rain or Shine Elasto Painters booked the top seed with a twice-to-beat advantage after beating the Meralco Bolts in the elimination round of the PBA Commissioner's Cup. The Elasto Painters survived a slow second half as the Bolts failed to capitalize on their numerous leads in the third and fourth quarter. Reggie Johnson made 21 points, 18 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, and 1 steal, while Maverick Ahan Misi added 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists for Rain or Shine. Chris Newsom tallied 21 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, and 1 steal for Meralco, which finished the eliminations with a hope spot for the top 2. Meanwhile, the Alaska Aces' quest for a top 2 finish got into a roadblock following a 105-86 blowout by Barangay Ginebra. Justin Brownlee flirted with a triple-double after tallying 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists with 1 steal for the Barangay. Latinoria added 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals. Vic Manuel made 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists for the Aces, who now need to beat Phoenix Fuel Masters on July 6. Dancing filled the streets of Ormoc City over the weekend during the celebration of the second Piña Festival in honor of their famous pineapples. More in this report from Maricor Zapata.
Thousands of spectators lined up along Ormoc City's thoroughfares for the second Piña Festival, top billed by the city's prime crop, sweet pineapples. Celebrity couple Ormoc City Mayor Richard Gomez and Leyte 4th District Representative Lucy Torres Gomez led the parade along with other government officials before sunset on Sunday. Also joining the parade were candidates of the Miss Ormoc pageant. Deja Vu, defending champion STI College Ormoc, won for the second time this year. The contingent also bagged the Best in Street Dance Award. Ipil National High School, which was last year's first runner-up, was also the first runner-up this year. Eastern Visayas State University Ormoc Campus, the second runner-up in last year's competition, was again this year's second runner-up. The group also won the Best in Costume and Best in Choreography Special Award. The Piña Festival is the city's way of paying homage to its patron saints for the countless blessings its people have received. It is also a celebration of the bountiful harvest of pineapple, a product of Ormoc, which locals themselves describe as the city of the most beautiful people. Ormoc produces what is called the cream pineapple, a variety of the fruit that is among the sweetest in the world. Pineapple is Ormoc's second top agricultural product, next to sugarcane. At least 500 hectares of local agricultural land, primarily owned by 3 well-known families, are devoted to pineapple. More than 100 tons of pineapple are produced every year from these plantations. Ormoc City is a first-class independent component city of Leyte Province. It is the economic, cultural, commercial, and transportation hub of Western Leyte. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The Philippine Army offered its condolences to the families of policemen killed during a misencounter in Samar and vowed that the incident will not pose a challenge to AFP-PNP cooperation. The Department of Transportation prepares to act on the Ombudsman's decision to file charges over the MRT-3 maintenance controversy. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry calls for insight from the business sector on the proposed shift to federalism. And Rain or Shine books a top spot in the PBA Commissioner's Cup quarterfinals. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.